kommen, Hospital, Gute. Schöne Woche. Wir wohnen in East New York. Rabbi, Kaufman. Ein bisschen war down the block of the body that boy. Been Panuman, the ganze Tag, he had a house in the back, that's with a nice garden. And he been Panuman, the ganze Tag, the ganze Nacht, in his garden. Then mit dem Gesang, der Panuman, die Tochter, denkt, die Mutter, hat mir mal gemeldet, gib mal guck, was hat der Goy gemacht? Gar nicht. Leben sein ist die Tod. Das ist es. Uns jeden legt zusammen. Uns jeden haben wir Tages, Teures. Wenn sie gewinnen, andere Flumme, andere Milchflumme, so ich bin von der, denke, er hat die starke, der gleich geschmeckt, und er schmeckt ein Kind sehr, gleich, so läuft er auch. Ich denke, als Borgeren sind kleine Tels zusammen, das ging, in der High School. Bruder zugekommen und gesagt, Josef, wir da sitzen alleine. Wir gehen nicht in High School. Und wir gehen zu dem Principal, Mannes, das habe ich gebrochen. Dann fragt Schuss, da kommen die Schuss und Taten. Die gefragte Taten, die Tat hat gesagt, lebt 4 Jahre in High School. Was hat man von dem? Panosse geht er nicht. He spent 4 years of your life. Was we can study and learn and spend in high school to establish in Panosse. Panosse geht er nicht. Die Tat hat es nicht gesagt mit der Instructions. Sie gewinnen, schütte Mikro. Ja, dann, wenn ich zu das mal gesessen, 706 East 105th Street in Tells, sat in the front row, middle of his marriage, and with Galen, gedenkt auf die Tess, wir zusammen, in Gehobe, Then, so more berufen, mit dem Öl gewählt. Ich dachte mir, hol wir den Leib. Ich bin nach Hause. Mit mir umgerufen, die Brüder und die Schauen. Jöse, was hast du zitten wollen? Fies en Cheder, du hebt de Bijbel geleerd. En voor 10 jaar te huis gehouden. Ik heb de andere mensen zullen gevraagd. En ik zei, we was gaan kijken. Ik heb mijn moeder gezegd. Sehr anders. Ich gehört in der Schiebe, als das Haupthaus hat, haben wir kochen. Hat nicht nur ein Chelik in seinem Leben, hat ein Chelik in all seinen Teils. Wie des Teufels, wenn ich gewählt und baut Pellen. Aber mit der Behauptung, das Gewinn sind sehr viel ich bin ein Mensch mit Gefängnis. Ich bin ein Mensch. Das ist gefühlt nach Reis. Nach Gottes Teile. Fragt die Kinder. Ein Keuch. Wenn harte Befälle, ist ein Keuch, ein Gehalt. Menschen brauchen, was brauchen nicht Gehalt, kein Scheichel zu tun, kein regischen Scheichels. Er hat sie gemacht, kein Disziplin Teile. Seine Adamien, kurz, gewohnt krank. Das muss, ich gewinne bei sich, aber noch gewinne bei sich. Eine von den Kindern, die damit meine Lücke. Eine sind mit dem Beöl gewinnt, also ich darf mir so heuch, ich darf mir für Jahre. Weil der Bude gehört, damit still, der Gott ist Feind. Damit heuch. Wer kann gedenken, wer kann vergessen, meine seine Omnie Schmerabe, der Keucher, der Sohn Omnie Schmerabe, Asoi, Keucher. Alke de Kach, die Kinder haben Betracht. Was haben wir tolle Kinder gegeben getaten? Die euch getracht habt, sein Leuten, haben so sagen, warum ich bin aber hech, Welle, nach ist Ruhe, das ist immer toll. Da kann nur gehen. Wissen schon, wie ob Gott sagt, schönere Munim, dicke schönere Munim, schönere Meinem. Mensch, Gieber, gedenk, dass ein Baby stand nicht betont, ist der Mann was als betont. Bei den Taten, sie hat gebrochen, Cheder nimmt die Ruhe, ganz ein Tag der Fuß, die Taten der Leute, ich gewusst, was tut sich. Und sie gar nicht zu eng sind, dort nicht betont, man kann, auch immer, gefragt, so erkennen uns etwas Levaya sein, was tut sich heute? Das Herz an den Tag. Jeder getan, wie ist der Meister, wo ist der Mann beraten. Der Bruder, wie gesagt, Jesus, aber ich möchte sein, wird wir uns morgen machen, wer besten schon für was hast du mit machen? Denke ich, bin ich zugegangen, möchte. Allein geht der Chef mit der ganzen Chefs. Pixar nimmt er raus, kleine Flasche Alkohol, gießt es an die Chefs, sie tun ein Match, es geht nach Feiern, und everybody starts clapping, und wurde dort gewähnt, dass wir jetzt an unseren Punkt. Asa, die Slavis, Asa, das heißt Gottes. Ich mache es an den Baum schütten. Nein, das ist meine Brüder. Da gibt es. Gehört in der Schule sehr verzahlt für Woche. Lehnen wir keine Monate auf der Bahn. Der verzahlt für Woche. Gesagt bei wenn er passt, die werden wir zusammen. Die gesagt, die beste Allier bei der Mitte ist das Moment, Gott in seinem Weg. Ich denke, die Schiebe, die wir dort an Nobel, wo wir zusammen. Aber wir zusammen. Das hat er Woche für Durchstehen mitten an. Da kommt schon am Bein und zu ihm stoppen. Nein. Christ Elia, der Bruder, unsere Hotline von seinen Brochen, eine Arbeit zu beteuern, eine Verschiedenes zu beteuern, Verschiedenes zu beteuern, Verschiedenes zu teilen, war gedeuert. Wenn die Scheich größer Marsch gewinnt, eine gute Bekitze ist der Mensch, wenn er gelernt, dort mit der Hechtwechsel nicht gegangen, die anderen sind reingetan, der Hasse, dass wenn er zum See steht, wenn er hechter Mensch, is, die Schuhe zegt, Zatzal gebrochen so, Pshat, die Gmorre, und so. Da pomni sich Liebe bei Rabbi, bei der Kohle, bei der Maske, Scheich, aber Kohle, Ton. Die Schuhe zahlt gesagt, Babos, die Sinosse, kach nicht die Losse. Die Schuhe gefragt, die Sinus hat wo sei ich schon Liebe? Oder was ist die Tür? Die Schuhe gesagt, wenn er Kohle und die Kohle ist nicht da. Und er geballte kein Sport. Das Schad, bei der Halle, bei Schkapte der Rebbe, Zoom gaan we naar Paul, dat ben ik kon ik zien maar spelen ben. Zo, jede goal geht er weg, dus de Jünger, we kennen devils, mehr wird vielleicht gehabt bescheiden. Dus die Schiebe ist noch Bescheid. Manisha gebeten in Jon Novi, Ihnen ob ich nein beruche Eloi, der Jon Novi gesagt, im Tür ist die Luke Chmita, die Hiluch erkennen. Der Mayen auch die Hiluch erkennen. Weil der Jon Novi ist er hoch, in Jon Novi gestimmt werden. Kann er mal später sein, Pishnein beruche Eloi. So gesagt, dass der Schiebe das der Bescheid mit die Losse, kann ich sie lassen. Weil die Missinosse kann mit die Losse, weil die Nutile ist auch eine Sine. Der Bruder, das lieber eine gewaltige jüdische nennt sich Gott, eine Kuhle, ein Archiver, wie des Teufels, ein Hobby mit Menschen, Mamisch, also ein Golden Hobby, das sie gewinnen, ein von seinen göttlichen Keuches, der Handelei mit Menschen, das seine Gewinnen, kein Scheiches nicht zu Möglichkeit, kein Scheiches nicht zu gemacht mit seinem Mann, ich war die Schübe von den Menschen. Nicht zu sagen, das ist Meines, gedenk, hat er Hure in Mönche Bekdusche, hat er Hure nach Schmeier, nach Briers, Hogge, sehr schwer, die Gesetzessache, der Brüder, oder wir zusammen, Ui Jochi, Freisa, was Chogi, was er in gehabt, Scheich, nicht nur mir, meine Kinder sind seine Kinder. Ich hätte mir mal gesagt, am Telefon, Jesus, sollte wir immer,
Tommy und Mastin, im größten Panem, jetzt in der Leid, das kommt noch eins, ein Wald gebrennen lernen, das ist noch später. Die Mädchen, die wenn sie brennen lernen, sie gekommen in der siebte Geld. Sie brennen lernen, sie gekommen, bei dem Land, und halt, wenn die Wiske der Reise, was sie gegangen, in die Kita, ich habe es gelernt, die ist umgekocht. Hat er mal gesagt, was ist sich für die Reise? Ich habe das schon teuer, ich habe das schon teuer. So da der, ich habe das schon teuer, das ist, das sucht sich ab. Man schaut, es heute steht, es da teuer für mein, es da teuer für dich, für die Sperre, ich bin ich, und habe es gekocht. So, das Detail, wo man steht, dass mein Rabbi und der Juchel, durch das Zahnfall. So, die Moza beide in den Chaben Teure. Aber Teure ist auch Amen. Wenn man schaut, mein und ich Teure. So, aber es ist da, der Teure von Amen ist der Teure von Eish. Die Risse, die Sperre, die Sperre, und habe es gehabt. Das ist auch Amen. Das ist der Teure, der wegen Amen, der wegen Teure, der Loschen Amen. So, der Maschal hat mir in der Teure von Eish. Und ich habe Eish kennen rufen nach der Welle mein. Noch ein Stück, das darf man nicht verstehen. Aber Kaufman, das meint, als ist für den Eis, als quasi Arbeit der Teure, diese Arbeit neu, die Arbeit von Midoi. Nasse Oibim soll es sein, besonders schon Nasse Oibim soll es sein. Nicht kann Tochter, kann Chome, was ich Schmöide haben, ich weiß gewonnen, Oibim mit der Tat, mit der Hebbe. Aber es ist auch zum Sof, das ist ein gut, sagen zum Sof, ist der Hoden Abend. Und das ist magisch, Mischreihe. Was meint am Schloss zu lernen, was meint ist für die Reise? Was meint am Schloss vom Handlieb beteuert? Ich kenne die eine Schloss nach heute, ich habe noch heute beteuert. Ich sage, Muchach am Handlieb, wie die Schloss nach der ist alle andere. Ich sage, es war das Such des Muchach. Ist für die Reise, aber es hat heute, das ist schwer, nicht bei Eish und Hebes Koch. Da muss ich mit Cheder Samen. Cheder Samen. Ich sage, Goyen, was mit Cheder Samen? Viele Menschen hat Zores. Preis von Zores und Goldes. Aber der Cheder Samen meint, man kann stark nach viele, wenn Zores kein Sachen Stoff, weil es mit Volumen umgeblendet mit meiner Arbeit hat heute, mit Arbeit Hashem. Das mit Cheder Samen. Wenn mit dem Gesehen, das ist sehr viel, aber mit Gesehen, dass er brennt auf Feier von Teure und auf Feier für die Schemein. Und du hast dir ewig gegeben für seine Kinder, für seine Familie, man war für seine Kinder euch, warm, von den Chommen, mit Teure, der Liebe Mannisch, weil die Arbeit ist ungeblendet mit dem Arbeit, ungezogen mit der Eisch von Teure. Die Familie, die Kinder, Walmen, wo sie dann gebrennt ihr Schemein, weißt du, was wir der Mann. Der Oya bei Hashem sind der Rot, der Moicha sein, ist Kule Ava, oder Avis Hashem. Das ist, Menschen gebrennt, mit Teuf, die Shemayim. Liebesteuf ist, was ist nicht gewinnt, ein Miede von, ein Miede von Ava, alles ein Miede von Ava. Avis hat Amide, Avis hat Chochen, Avis hat Bries. Das ist Oya, dem, Walke Pai, mit der Shmuel ist gewinnt. Ich bin gewusst, das hundertste Talmiden, ich spiele, wenn Menschen aus einer jeglichen Familie, nicht mehr Familien, ein wahnsinniger Brem,
Yitzchak Shiratzki.
Grace and Lifter, Shmuel, Zecher Tzadik Levroche, was an unusual tzaddik, a meshudike tzaddik. David HaMelech sagt in Tillim, Hashem Tzadik Yivcha, the Eberste Tess and his Benasse Tzadiki. But from Chazal we see that not all tzaddikim get the same nisyonis. In the selbe Schwierigkeiten, nor was größer a tzaddik als größer sein nisyonis hachai. The Eberster versteht, he understands how much a tzaddik can take and grow from his nisyonis. The Medrash Tanchume in Parshas Vayera and the Posuk Velekim Nisa es Avrom sagt dem Tanchume Zehu She'omar HaKosuv Hashem Tzadik Yivcha. And Rabbi Yoine explains the Medrash and he says Hapishtin Azeh Kol zman shata koitish olov mishtabachas Eimosai kshehu yofer Avol kshura ata koitish olov v'hu mispakeya Kach eina kodesh bochu menase elo v'tzadikim. It seems what was bothering the Medrash was, why did the Eibishter have to give Avrom Avinu so many nisyonis? The whole life of Avrom Avinu was full of nisoyin, acher nisoyin. Why? By the last nisoyin, the Torah talks about Velikim Nisa es Avrom. This was Avrom's true test. And Rabbi Yoine explains that Avrom Avinu was the tzaddik, that he could endure nisyonis for his whole life. Avrom could grow from nisyonis. If you, the better the flax, the more you hit it, the better it becomes. A normal chayfetz, you hit it, it breaks. A Rosha, it's impossible to give him nisyonis and sores because he would chalila be maharer acher midoisav shel HaKodesh Baruch Hu. But somebody who's steadfast in emunah, somebody who's stark in his emunah b'Hashem, there's nothing that can deter him from his emunah and his bitochen. No fakir, the more you hit him, the more nisyonis, the more tzoras, the more er darf much machen in sein Leben, steigt und wächst. Avrom Avinu got nisoyin, acher nisoyin, weil der Eberster hat verstanden, Avrom Avinu is bekoyach to get to a shleimus through the 10 nisyonis. Avrom would get to the shleimus agodol. And the selbe Sache, Shmuel Zecher Tzadik Livroche, who was a Meshunatike Tzadik, the Eberster was testimony on his tzidkes. The Eberster had verstanden his level of tzidkes, and the Eberster put him through such schwere nisoynes throughout his life, and he just grew from every nisoyin. Never chalila, a hearer, acher midoisav shel HaKodesh Baruch Hu, Why am I suffering so much? Never ever did you ever hear from him any hero chas v'sholem for a moment, because he was that tzaddik, that Hashem tzaddik yivchon. The Gemara says in Makis, Taryag mitzvahs never lemoishe misinai. We have a ganze Torah of Taryag mitzvahs. But bo Chavakuk v'midon alachas. Chavakuk summed up the whole Torah in one zach. What is the ein zach? Tzadik be'emunoso yichya. A tzaddik lives with his emunah. Mashor says, what the Gemara means to say, there's something that's koilel the ganze mehus of a yid. B'chol eitz, his emunah is steadfast. The shorish of all our avodas Hashem is emunah. Onoichi v'lo yilecho, we heard it b'pi agvura. The rest of the Torah didn't have to come from the Rebbeinu Shalom. But the shorish of our avodas Hashem, which is emunah, that was given over b'pi HaKodesh Baruch Hu, b'pi agvura ba'atzmoi, because this is the yisoid. The yisoid of everything is like David HaMelech says in Tehillim, Kol mitzvoisecho emunah. All the mitzvahs Hashem are expression of emunah. The Ramban and the Akdomim to the Sefer HaMitzvahs is masber the Bahag. That's not moine emunah as one of the mitzvahs of the Sefer HaMitzvahs. And he says because this is the shoyresh to the ganze avodas Hashem. Tzadik be'emunoso yichya. If you don't believe strong that there's a mitzvah, then there's no tzimuyim. First, you have to be steadfast in your emunah b'Hashem that there's an Eibishter that made this world and is mitzvahs. The shorish of all the mitzvahs, every mitzvah that we do is a testimony. There's a mitzvah. Why am I doing this mitzvah? Why am I subjugating myself to the rotzim of Hashem? Because I'm testifying that there is a mitzvah, there is a boire oilam. There's a niflik Ramban and the Parshas Boy. The Ramban writes, Kavonis kol ha-mitzvah shenamin belekenu. The yistachlis of all mitzvahs is one. We should get to the highest level of emunah. Every mitzvah that we do just strengthens our emunah b'Hashem. We connect to the Rebbeinu Shalom Cheder throughout our life. And what it is a testimony and our growth to emunah b'Hashem. V'noi de'elav, and we're thankful to Him. We admit to Him, you are our boire oilam. And the Ramban says, V'hi kavonis hayitzira, this is the ultimate goal. And the Sibu Hashem created a person. She'ein lanu tan acher b'yitzira harishoyna. There's no other reason, only for one thing, like Habakkuk says, Bo Habakkuk v'midon alechas, kol mitzvoisecho emunah. Ve'ein kel elyin chofetz b'tachtoinim, milvad sheyedeh odom, that you should be steadfast in your emunah, v'yoydel elekov, and you admit and you're thankful to the Rebbeinu Shalom Shebro that He created you. This is the essence of a tzaddik. A tzaddik is be'emunoso yichya. Reb Shmuel, zecher tzaddik livroche, was able to be mekabel all his misyonis and not to be mehari acher midoisav shel HaKodesh Baruch Hu, because his emunah was steadfast like a rock. There was no questions in his mind on Hogas Hashem Yisborah. Just like Avraham Avinu was able to be mekabel all his nisyonis and never be maharer of his because he was the Rosh Hamaminim. Avraham's whole mitzias was he was the one who was mekabel. There's a boyer oilam yesh odin lebira zu. And he was mekabel, and not just he wasn't meharer acher midoisav. No, he was mekabel them be'aveh. Avram Avinu was the one Av that loved the Ribono Shel Olam. Avram Oyavi, state the Novi Yeshaya. His love for the Ribono Shel Olam was so great. Even Nisoyan just intensified his love for the Ribono Shel Olam. Reb Shmuel, who was mekabel all his nisyones, he was mekabel them with such a gewaltige ahave, because he had this gewaltige emunah b'Hashem. David HaMelech says in Tehillim, Ivdu es Hashem b'simcha. Reb Shmuel was the personification of, you need a build of what an Oived Hashem b'simcha looks like. That was Reb Shmuel. Every time you came in contact with him, whenever you met him, you saw for yourself a person whose whole mitzias was simchas achayim. He's so upbeat. You could have thought he's the happiest person in this world, that he doesn't have anything going on in his life. Such a Bal Yisurim, Kol Yemei Chayov. A person who Rachmana litzlan was a cripple. He survived polio at a time when it was mamish sakonis nefoshes. He walked with crutches. He walked with braces. He was in a wheelchair. And whenever Matzav you saw Reb Shmuel, he was dancing. He was so full of simcha sachayim simcha. Where did this simcha come from? How could he possess such a gewaltige simchas achayim? How could he serve the Ribono Shel Olam with such simcha, with such unbelievable nisyonis and yisurim? This came from his tremendous ahavas Hashem. The Mesilas Yesharim writes, when he defines a chosid, what is a chosid? A chosid is somebody who has a burning love for the Ribono Shel Olam. And the Mesilas Yesharim says, simcha is an adif from a haveh. Why do Hasidim are so freilach? Why is somebody who feels a tremendous simcha in his avodas Hashem, it's a pleasure, a gishmak? You saw the gishmak, how Reb Shmuel went to every mitzvah, to every davening, to every learning. How much he had, so much simcha, was the greatest time and pleasure for him. This came from his tremendous gewaltige ahavas Hashem. Mesilas Yesharim says, when a person has a tremendous ahavah to the Ribono Shel Olam, and he has such a rediful, like Rabbi Yosef said, he doesn't have any shaykhs to this world. Olam Hazeh by Reb Shmuel didn't exist. The only thing what existed in his life was Kirvas Hashem, Kedusha. His tefillas, his Eisek HaTorah was a mitzias of a tiny. You saw his gishmak in Ruchnias, his gishmak in Torah. How much he lived from a mitzvah. How much he went to a mitzvah b'simcha. This mitzvah is only Hasidim are zoiche to. And then the Mesilas Yesharim says, how do we know if a person is truly an Oyev Hashem? The Mivchin of Ahava is Bizman Hadoichek V'Atzoreh. The test to see if a person truly loves the Eibishter. When it becomes difficult, when there's a doichek in a tzoreh, the Chazal zogen, v'haftas Hashem olikecha, b'chol levovcha, u'v'chol nafshecha. Giving away your whole soul, your whole heart, b'chol moidecha, b'chol mida, u'mida shemoidedloch. Giving away Olam Hazeh, b'chol mamoincha. He gave away his Olam Hazeh, his meager salary that he had. He gave it away to be machzik, as his brother Rabbi Yosef said, stel sich for a person who doesn't have and he still is ready to give away for Torah. That testifies to his tremendous love for the Eibishter b'chol levovoi, afilu noitel es nafshecha. In any matzav, you love Hashem so much. Something Mesilas Yesharim, how is it still possible that a person with so much source and so many Yishoynes should still love the Ebershter? So there's two things that you have to have. One is a strong emun in Hashem. If you versteh kol ma de Ovid Rachmonu l'tav Ovid, du verstehst that the Ebershter, whatever he does, is doing it for your good. Sagt so even the Tsar in the raw that looks kilu, it's chalila, something schlecht, you understand it's a toiva amitis. And he gives a marshal, a doctor makes a surgery, and he takes away a part of the person's evorim. Are you going to have tainas v'tarumas on the roife, or are you going to be dankbar to the roife? Well, du verstehst that he's giving you chiyas. This is Rachmanis. He's only doing it for your benefit. Instead of losing your Ahava, it's a siba that your Ahava should grow. You love him for doing what he's doing for you. If a person has emunah, und versteht, was der Eberste tut, is l'toiva, he doesn't feel anything that he goes through in his life as a pisorin, nor he sees the Eberste. This is the whole Yisoid of Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av is the Yisoid of the Yeruchem, that you recognize the Eberste in the Tsar, in the Tzor, the Tate schmeißen mir. For what's tight schmeißt mir the Tate? Nor kasher yasser ishes b'noi, kein Hashem olikecha miyasrecha, oy avoy shicheroi musar. When a Tata loves you, he gives you musar. He doesn't let you go hefker. He wants to make sure you'll grow and you'll stay in the derech Hashem and you'll wax in your emunah. Reb Shmuel hat verstanden, als als was der Eberste gibt ihm ist ein Liebschaft von der Schmeiß von der Tate. Kol ma de Ovid Rachmona l'tav Ovid, this was his emunah shlema. He was stark in his emunah, and we spürt der Hadis Hashem in jeder Klapp. And then the Mesilas Yesharim says a zweite cheshbon. And he says, a person is here to be married b'kvoid shamayim. A person is here to be mekadosh shem shamayim. And when a person gets Sverikaiten in his life, and he recognizes the Ebershter, whatever matziv, that is a tremendous bavais of kovit shamayim, of kiddushin shamayim. He gives a moshel to a sar tzvor. A sar tzvor is not looking for an easy life. There shouldn't be any battles. He wants the Mulchomeh, because he wants to show his Ibergegebenkeit to the Malchus. He wants to show how much he's dedicated, how much he loves the Melucha, and he extends himself. This Elbezach sagt the Mesilas Yesharim, it's a tremendous opportunity. When you have tzoros and you still daven with your bread, you go on with your life with such a tremendous gishmak in your avodas Hashem. Can there be a bigger kvoid shamayim? Can there be a bigger kiddushin shamayim? Reb Shmuel had verstanden, he has an opportunity to be mekadosh and to be married with kvoid shamayim. That's what he felt, and that's how he lived, and that's why it just strengthened his gewaltige simchas achayim. Reb Shmuel felt kol ma de Ovid Rachmona l'tav Ovid. He felt he has the opportunity to be able to be married by kvoid shamayim. The Rambam, when he's mitayer, who was the biggest oyev Hashem? The Rambam writes in a few places in Sefer HaMitzvahs, in Ilchus Tshuvah, the Rambam says it was Avram Avinu. Avram Avinu was a choil asahava that didn't for a moment stop his tremendous ahavas Hashem. Avram Avinu reached the ahava b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshe v'chol moedecha. The Rachayim HaKodesh explains what was the nisoyin of Akeda. And he says the nisoyin of Akeda was if he can reach the real true level of ahavtas Hashem b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha v'chol moedecha. His man's been in the psukim and What did he do when he got up at the Levaya? He said, Ribono Shel Olam, be Zitzner, as much as I loved you, but I couldn't really reach the total level of the whole of Levavcha. I had a little part in my heart for my Zub, for my Ben Yochanan, but now I'm ready to give all of that away because I don't have my son. And Eibishter Zok the Chofetz Chaim told the Ribono Shel Olam, now I'm going to have the opportunity to be Mekayim B'Shleimus Ahavta B'Chol Levavcha. This was Avram Avinu's Nisoyim. The Eibishter said, Kach mas bincha shechitcha she'ahavta, and give it all up. And that's when Avram Avinu reached the Shleimus of Ahavas Hashem. This was the Yisoyin of the Nisyonis of Reb Shmuel in his life. His burning love, Hashem gave him Nisoyin after Nisoyin to see how great he can show his love for the Eibishter. And he showed that tremendous ahava to the Ribono Shel Olam, b'chol levavoi, u'b'chol nafshei, b'chol moedecha. You know, there's a sifri that explains what does it mean, the mitzvah of ahavas Hashem. And the sifri says, v'ahavtas Hashem ahaveu al habrius. Don't be satisfied with your personal ahavas Hashem, but reach out. See, everybody is going to get to love the Ribono Shel Olam. Ke'inyan Avram, es hanefesh asher osu b'chorin. What prompted Avram Avinu to be Mekarev Nefoshes? The belt made, it was a Midas HaChesed. The Sifri says that's not what it was. It was the burning love of Avram Avinu. When you love the Eibishter, you're not thinking about you or self. No, you're thinking about the Eibishter's Kinder. You're thinking about the Ratzon Hashem and the Bria B'Chloluse. Ahaveu al Habriyas, the Rambam in Sefer HaMitzvos, when he discusses Ahavas Hashem. And he says, when you truly love Hashem, you want to see everybody, no matter how far they're away from Yiddishkeit. Bring them to be Makir, there's an Eibishter. See to it that they're going to have a love to the Eibishter. Not just you're going to have a love. Because if you truly love the Eibishter, you want everybody to get to be Makir and to have an ahava to the Eibishter. And this is Reb Shmuel. Reb Shmuel was a Yid that everybody was his children. Everybody, he had a shaykhus, not just to the hundreds and thousands of Talmidim that he did on an ongoing basis. But Reb Shmuel reached out to Nidochim, to Menschen, was ein Gewinn weit von Yiddishkeit. And he taught him, he brought him into his house, he met them, he talked to them, he inspired them, he uplifted them, he made them recognize there's a Boirei Olam. Not just recognize, but to love the Eibishter. And more than that, he saw that they should have a simcha in their ahavas Hashem. If simcha is an anif of ahava, and it's a chelak of your mitzvah of ahavas Hashem, ahaveu al habriyas, what that means is you should see to it that they do get infused with this tremendous simcha, that their avodas Hashem should be done with an avodas Hashem mitot simcha. Reb Shmuel saw to it not just that he did this avodas Hashem b'simcha, but he saw to it that everybody should serve the Eibishter with a gewaltige simcha. When his Rebbetzin got very sick with her brain tumor, and Shmuel had a house of Pitzalach, and he didn't lose his Simcha Sachayim. His Simcha Sachayim continued, not only just the Eibishter gave him Yisyonis, personal Yisyonis, but the Eibishter saw he can take more. And the Eibishter saw that he should have a wife that should go through Shreklich Yisurim, in the house, and she was mamish ben achayim lamovis, and he went to Reb Moshe Zatzal for brochas. And he always held on to these brochas, the Emunah Shleima. Whenever you met him, he would always talk about his gewaltige kesher with Reb Moshe, how everything he was, he had Emunah's chachomim, and he was always calm and serene, and b'simcha that everything is going to work out, and Baruch Hashem, the Eibishter, with all those machlas in the family, with all the tzores, with all the nisyoines, they always swore b'simcha rabbe. They always swore marbe kloit shamayim and mekadosh shem shamayim. They went on and they were Baruch Hashem zoichet and arichas yomim shalui k'derech hateva. Every day was kemat a nest that they were alive. There were so many ups and downs in Matzot and Shver in their Leben. Are they going to live through? This is a testimony to his gewaltige Ahavas Hashem. The Sefer Hasidim writes, a Chosid who loves Hashem, Hashem loves him. And Hashem sees to be Marich Yomov. And if you see a person being Marich Yomov, Shaloi Kederech HaTeva, that's a sign of how much the Ribono Shalom loves that person. This is the sign of how they were zoichet tarichas yomim lamris all their machlas, which baffled doctors. People could not be masik how they could be zoichet to this chiyas. Shaloi kederech hateve. This was only an outgrowth of their tremendous ahavitz and Eibishter. When the Eibishter sees you love him, the Eibishter showers you with a love tzarich. Baruch Hashem, he left over such a beautiful mishpacha, a mishpacha of kinder of Talmidei Chachomim, tzadikim v'tzikoni yisireim u'shleimim, Reb Yoina, a tzadik, a Dovik Bashem, Zelbe Zacher, Meir, Kuloi, Kosher, L'Toyer, L'Avodas Hashem, and Reb Dovik, Kulam Ahuvim, Kulam Berurim, and they will see to continue the Ma'alach HaChaim of the Gewaltige Grace Tate, and the whole Mishpoche will continue the legacy of their parents. The Gemara says in Baba Basra, by Dovi it doesn't say Misa, by Yoyev steht Misa. And the Gemara says, what's the difference? They both had children. And the Gemara says the difference is, David sheiniach ben kamoisoi, never boy shkive. Yoyev had children, but not that type of children that are continuing the legacy of the Tate. Baruch Hashem, where Shmuel was zoichet to bonim and chasning, a mishpoche that's kulam ahuvim, kulam that are b'mamshich b'drochov. They got inspired from his Mahalach HaChaim, and they will be'ezer Hashem continue to be Mekadosh Shem Shemayim and to be Marbe Kvoid Shemayim. We want just to be Messiah. There's a Tanchumi in Parshas Mishalech. The Tanchumi says, Zeh Hashar L'Hashem Tzadikim Yovoyu Boy. Tzadikim can go into this shar. Regular people cannot go into this shar. Who can go into this shar? Only tzadikim. Zok the Tanchume, who are these tzadikim? Elu balei amoneh. These are people that are steadfast with emunah b'Hashem, tzadik b'emunos yichya. Shenemar pislu sheorim v'yove goy tzadik shomer emunim. Hashar azeh balei amoneh nichnosim boy. Who can go through this shar, a tzaddik that is steadfast with his emunah b'Hashem? And the Tanchumi explains what does that mean, emunah b'Hashem. And the Tanchumi says, we say toiv l'hoidus l'Hashem, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon, l'hakid b'boiker chazdecha. And afterwards it says, kisi machtani. Mi gorem lanu simcha zu, emuna she'ninu aviseinu b'oilom hazeh, shekuloi leiles k'nichsiv, ve'emunoscho b'leiles, b'schus, Those people that in the darkness of this world, they see the whole shmid, the whole bleakness of the world of Olam Hazeh, and still they have such a strong emunah, and nothing deters them. They can sing the shiras and tishbochas to the Eibishter B'Olam Hazeh. Those people are going to bring us closer to Mashiach. And the Medrash says, you know why they're going to bring us closer to Mashiach. Ein agolius asidim ligoyel elo b'schar emunah. Shenemar iti milavonin kalo, iti milavonin tavoyi toshuru meirosh avoneh. What we need to be zoichet to Gula is, how strong is our emunah going to be b'leilas of Olam Hazeh? Are we going to get so splintered from the tzoros that the Eibishter gives us on Kol Tzad V'Shal? The Eibishter gives us a Shver Matzov V'Yachayim, especially Nikos and Meshicha. Where we turn, we see the Lahashminu, Laharigu, Lahabedes, Kol HaYehudim. Every nation in the world only has one agenda, and that is to destroy Achmon Litzlan, Klal Yisrael. Sometimes you see it clearer, and sometimes it's masked, but it's always there. And there's not a country in the world, they're shivim, savim, and they're always ready to swallow us up. If we can keep our emunah, then we are meriting to go out from the Golis, because of tonight, to be going out of Golis is Emunoscha Baleilas. As was mentioned before from Rabbi, the tachlis of a siyum is to be misayrer from the drochim of the nifter. Let us learn up was is main tzaddik be'emunosa yichye. A tzaddik that has such a steadfast emunah b'Hashem. He was mikabel all his nisoynos, not just he wasn't ma'arer achamidoisov, but he was mikabel with such a simcha, with such an ahava, to a degree that not only he wasn't thinking about himself and his sorrows, he could be focused on everybody. Aveil al abrius. All he's thinking about is the world around him. How can I bring them closer to the Rebbeinu Shalom? Because that's how strong my ahava is to the Rebbeinu Shalom. How can I infuse them with simchas achayim? How can I infuse them with the simchas hamitzvah and the simcha of avodas Hashem? That their avodas Hashem should be with the gewaltige tainug, with the gewaltige chizuk. If we will take upon ourselves, and that's the zman that's mesugol, b'shasa hesved, this is the zman that it's mesugol. Now is the time that we should learn up from these gewaltige chayim. His life was one life of an ameradike kiddush Hashem, ameradike kvoid shamayim, a leben full of ahavas Hashem, of emunah Hashem. If we will be mekabel and be mechasik ourselves with our emunah, then no matter what we go through in our lives, we will still be strong in our emunah. We will strengthen our havas Hashem. We will be zoicha b'korev tzubiyas Mashiach tzikeinu ubila hamovas l'netzach umocha Hashem l'kim dimo ma'al kol panim. Amen v'amen.
Simcha Shiner. Schwester Kinder, cousins. We had a kleine Yinkel, a small boy, a small young child of 12. Tante, when we married, at the time we comes to Brooklyn, sent me to learn hotels. And when he sent me to learn, he asked Shmuel personally take care of me. Him for 12 years old, younger kid. Shmuel, he was my older brother, my Rabbi, my guide. The mother given. Was die Jealous is this vorzustellen. It's hard to explain. I don't realize how much Jealous I had in those years under his guidance, under his ashpone, in his room. Alles genau hier, die Heroes, die Kedusha. He was a Cheder sort Mensch. I feel als Bocher. Ist weg Nächten, wenn der Rechaim HaKodesh ist Jahrzeit. Morgen, in der Seidensjahrzeit, heilige Seiden, und wir haben die Gewisse Helma. Der Stempel von Seiden liegt auf dem Schmuel, Zatzal. That stamp. Was die Gesette kein Neues, so wie es mit dem Mond nach Mecher sein. Was sind gerückt in seine Beine, der ganze Atzmiers. Und wir fuhren mit Gedusche, mit ihrer Schumai, da was Hashem. Chazal sagen, dass Moshe Rabbeinu, erste rebellische Leute, das ist zu schwer zu tragen der Last. Weil er von klar ist, und der Moshe hat gesagt, es war die Schiffe mich besiegt nach Israel. Ist Chazal so eine interessante Losche, es war die Schiffe mich. So ein Chazal, was ist die Losche nicht? Hashem ish nuchama, wo ish Moshe onot moed. Das ist Kashi geworden, das darf stehen, ich muss es schieben an Loschen. Das ist doch Loschen Rabbi. Ich kann sagen, schieben mich. Das Chazal sagen, was ist schieben mich? Hashem ish nuchama, wo ish Moshe onot moed. Die Tate, ob ihr Mödri, sie hat gesagt, die Woche hat Levaya gewinnt. Pshat, was liegt dann in Chazal? Er hat gesagt, dass Manik, davon die 2 Meiles. Mensch, was geht zu sein, Manik gleich, und davon der Keach, von Hashem ish nuchama, und mit Zad Sheni, wo ich Moshe onot moed. Der Keach von sein, Alichem uchemes Hashem, und sich mit Topstellen und mit Bewater sein, Chas v'Sholom, auf Kvoid Hashem, hat er wie Bewater, Kvoid Hashem, und mit Zad Sheni, ich Moshe onot moed, der größte Savlen, und zu verstehen, understand each one, be able to guide each one, the Fikreche. Shmuel nach mir, dass er behaupten und sagen, die mehrheitliche Keches. On one hand, he was the mehrheitliche Lechem Uchemes Hashem. Nicht bewahrte, wenn Kihu sehr. Was mit der Gea, Chinuch, Beteile, Bekdusche Beteile, auf den größten Läufen, Und mit seiner Schäme, ja, man sagt, eine mehrere Warmkeit und das Bagels, die Delitäre, für das Teile. Und können anhalten, jeder Rede ist ja viel hocher, ist ja hoch boy. To understand each child, how to teach each child and build each child, für seine Kirches. He came to Detroit, ich bin ein junger Mann. Ich bin über 50 Jahre. Was Mechanich. Bechesed Elien. His mark, wie der Rebbe gesagt, tausende Talmiden, und sehr Talmiden, und sehr Talmidea, die erstreuen. Das was mordig. Aber alles getan mit Chochme. Das sagt, mit Avo, verstanden. Das ist der himmlische Kirches, das Jahre des Schmeien, was hat gehabt. Der Stempel von dem Sprache liegt, der heilige Segen, was morgen ist eine Jahrzeit. Was allein, Aleichem Mochemes Hashem, damals in Amerika, was sehr gewinnt, als der heilige Buch Bern hat gesagt auf ihm, der Chavetz-Chaim von Amerika. Diese Sprüche, was gehabt auf dem Sprache, Shmuel Rachmir, hat gehabt keinen Keach. Nicht das Feuerwehr. Und sie kommen, sie kommen vor Hashem. Der Seide von sich allemaal, wenn als jung gerät, the mom and my mother used to tell me all the time, the Seide von sagt used to tell his children, spit on the world! Und tu noch an kommen von BBL. Seide, was reingelegt, die Speue von der Dusche, von Teilen. Also wir haben immer übrig, die ganze Welt, die eine See, und ich bin verkehrt. Ist nicht spoiled geworden. In der Zeit, am Mittwoch Shmuel in Amerika. Wie viel? Und schon ja früher hat die Jahrschaft. Doch genommen, die ein Kind, ein Krüppel, ein Polio, gewalgert. Und da war durchgestiegen, was er größer Hilfe. Und kleine Horn, das ist ein echtes Schreier. Rabbi hat gerade ein Stück von Levaya sein, Rabbi hat viel, und sie hat nicht schön weggestellt. Wir haben eine Szene, so viele Schwierigkeiten. Und zusammen, der Bild eine Leute am Gesprochen mit der Ferris. Am Gesprochen, der Ferris bohne mal Häuser. Also am Gesprochen kann einer hören. Einer bei einer. Guck mal, Hofe. Cheder. Cheder. Und der Tate fängt an rennen. Was damals irgendwo gerettet, habe ich schon gelernt. Der ist mit Detroit, was mit gerettet. Aber was der Tochter nach Hause mit der Schimschi, haben sich aufgegeben. Der Tate fängt Geld wegen die Yerushalmi in vermischter Himmel wohnen mit Peer. Und Yerushalmi steht, Yerushalmi says, keep it up, you don't change the Peer, but come rein und sonst noch der. Keep it up, hey. Steht in Yerushalmi, Baba Kahane. Aber steht Sachen, two things it says, Varach Yom, bei Shiluach HaKan, und bei Keep it up. So, der Shiluach HaKan ist Kalois sheba Kalois. Und Kibbutz ist Chamur sheba Chamuris. Sie haben sich aufgegeben mit dem Kibbutz hin. Yuma ki super. Der Gefühl ist am Mitzvah. Das ist so, das er war beistellen. Am Ende der Ressourcen sind gehalten. Alle Kinder, sie haben von der Leidenschaft. Die Mitzvah, die Kinder da rein. Was am Ende der Mitzvah ist. Was soll man sagen, aber ich sage? Lass uns aufnehmen. Und nehmen von der Gärtnis von Abschluss nach Will. Ich habe gehört, alle was noch gerät, sein Gärtnis. Im Rom Amokoi, im Rom Machaberoi, sein Messias Nefesh. Wie viele Menschen, how many people, all my covers are trying. Wie viel, und auf so Rotmann, von seinen Hoge, mit dem, seine größte Schuss, wie du mich schmosse, hat Heure. Guckt doch, hohe vierte Welt, aber die gewiss, dann treffen seine Eltern, seine Mama nimmt weg, ein Junge kommt, 31 years old. So treffen mit der Heiligen gesehen ist, es soll mal Spiel sein, guck mal, fahren Kiste kommen. Rabbi Shmuel sagt, aber ihr Cheles, kennt sich euch teilen mit dem Benne Euro. Auf unsere Zollers muss man leben. Als ich von Zollers noch im Klan Israel, als ich von Machlis, als ich von Probleme schon dabei ist, als ich von Zollers und Kindern habe. Und sagt, als ich von getan, gucken, bis ich im Bett bei Himmel gewinne. Und es muss sicher sein, ausgelesen werden. Herr, uns war der Schäfer von Mashiach. Sicher sein, wo wir Chodosh beziehen, teuer. Nicht ja gewonnen, aber hier, was nur heute noch am Sir Jerusalem, ein Kind gibt der Mashiach. Und Bila Momus von Netzer, und ich bin mir auf dem Morgen, und wir waren mit.
Shmuel.
Towns, we had no much of shaykhs, voices are still
always, all through the years, he always sent regards, and the album was there, but not much shaykhness. I hope he came. Zatzal. Es ist bei Yosef Zadik, bei den Sonnen, bei Tifa. Welch erster Rohr der Mazois, Chotossi Berokim. So the Archaim says, וזה אני מפסיד כל התורים במוסד עצמי. Yosef Atzadik is a different sign, and correct the sign, because we don't even understand this in the sign. But Toma, if Yosef Atzadik wouldn't have been a sign, כי בזה אני מפסיד כל התורים במוסד עצמי. He would have lost everything. Yosef would have lost everything. This was Yosef Atzadik's mitzvah. This was the time. He was a big Messiah, but Tommy wouldn't have been a Messiah. He would have lost everything. Sometimes mitzvahs come in a person's life, and everybody sometimes is nechshal, sometimes mekayim, but there's certain mitzvahs that it's mukhrach. Dove b'shtayim, also what? Shov achas, also. What's the difference? About the David, Yosef Tzadik, it was nifsho. Sometimes it was nifsho. Aber we also learn. Shov achas, also learn. Because the ganze Metzias of Shov HaMelech is Tachlis was his Amalek. When the time came, the mitzvah came, and he wasn't kind it, he lost everything. Shov Achas Le'osel. Hakaras HaTorah is a chiyuv, and I don't want chas v'shalom to say by b'chatasi darakim. So there's not much to really. We heard the great tzidkes from Shmuel. He was a kanoi. He was a mabitz Torah. Koriel Masni. If a grace to open, as we heard before, thousands of Talmidim, more than the Yerushalayim in Detroit. He went through his hand, thousands of Talmidim. And hundreds of people that he was personally mashpia on. The kids are Takya Amos Tzadik. I just can't be myself, but I just want to maybe a few zechreinos just to share with you. Darn. It says, Mice is Aknum. Mice with H is Lakewood. That he married the Zatzal Savua, as everybody knows. And he went away to learn 12 years. He came back. He heard his wife say, before he came into the house, he said, if he would listen to me, he would go away for another 12 years. He went away for another 12 years. Then he came here after 24 years. He came home with 24,000 talmidim. And she came, this Kazuli Zatzal, she came to see him. And the Rabbi was pushing her away. Rabbi Kiva said, Anivolo, Shali, Shalom. Shalom. I think I could say the same thing. Shali, Umashashayat Shali. Shalom. He was responsible for my come to towels. He made it possible for me to come to towels. He was encouraging that. And in towels, he always gave me good answers. He was mashpia on me. He was and he was mashpia. A boy side, but not only on me, he was mashpia. Whoever came into his, whoever came in contact with him, he was a big mashpia. Madrich, even in those days when it was his Bacher Shiyarim. He was a Medilka Yisurim, as we heard before. He had polio. And with a brace, with crutches. In those days, he was Nitzel Limavis, but he was big Baal Yisurim. But as we heard before, with the ganze merits, with the ganze Gvur, with the ganze Simchas HaChayim, he was able to be mashpia, because if he wouldn't have Simchas HaChayim, couldn't be mashpia, the Simchas HaChayim overflow. He was able to be mashpia. So I have a Lord God Karas Atortim. So I remember when it came to Mominus, he used to mamish be makam on himself. No problem. $500, $600. He's going to raise it. He was an ani. But there was no problem. Nothing stopped him. His mamish and Gibor, Baruach. And he used to also as the years passed by, he used to always send, he had a big nachas ruach from his talmidim. Whenever he heard a good report about his talmidim, that means he was B'leiv Nefesh. His Scarvus always sent regards, and he used to tell his Spiva, his Mukarabim, oh, I have a Talmud over there, and he's doing this, and he was Matzviach over here, and Gemara in the Dharma says that Gemara Lamed Hey on the base, Gemara says Hani Kani, Gemara says the subject, Shuchat Rahman, the Shuchat Idan, the Ram over there says that we passed in Shuchat Rahman, Ganusa, you learn what's the other. So we pass in Shulchan Rahman. Rabbi said, the Rebbeinu Shalom, the snagus of the Rebbeinu Shalom in the world is Shulchan Yeshulchan. See, Moshe Aaron is Shulchan Rebbeinu Shalom, the Haitzis in Israel, that's Mitzrayim. The whole Union of Melech is Shliach of the Rebbeinu Shalom, Kol Yisrael is Gizbo, Kol Yisrael should Yod Hashem, do the mitzvahs. She was the final growth was a Shliach, Shulchan Rahman. Did brilliant Torah in America. He has developed with Shulchan, that's the snagus of the Rebbeinu Shalom. Kimdumani, that Shmuel Rabbi, you were also your shlichus. Your shlichus was to carve the Tani, be Maritz Cheder, to be Makar Levashas, and Makar Levavas. Now that you're going to Shemayim, I think you could say the Koyach of the Gvura, when I'm married to the Rebbeinu Shalom, Asti Shlichuscha, B'mloi Muban Amila, so G'yamta Berubim, next time, Mishpacha, all Yom Kurabim, all people who the Kabash offering, Ganz Klal Yisrael, Zomnit Service. So if it appears out, share the carpet menu, you got your mouth and that's the miracle.
Naftali beer.
It's hard to say why. 50 years, the families are ready. Let me introduce myself. I'm Clinton from here. I was a Talmud in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Rabbi had come because his wife wanted to be in New York. But he didn't want to live in New York. He said, well, Elizabeth will try that over there. I'll get an interview. An interview doesn't work out. It won't work out. So maybe in an inimitable way, make sure it wouldn't work out. He came to with his, for the interview with his jacket, like this, his shirt sticking out this way. He told us, and he knew for sure he's not going to be accepted. We'll go back to Detroit. But Rabbi Teitz was smart. He called up Humble and tells the Yeshiva, and he said, there's a Shmuel Kaufman here. They say, grab him and don't let him leave. We was after that happens at Rabbi. He was in Elizabeth for 4 years. You know what idea what Elizabeth was? We walked in the street with a hat on. I mean a baseball hat. And a person who knew we were Jewish would think I made it Jewish, we got spat upon. When I was in 6th grade, my classmates made fun of me for wearing tzitzis. That's what Elizabeth was. It was after the war. It was years. It was despondency. Who was going to lift us up? There was Gavaldik and Rabbi there in the yeshiva, but the Rabbi all lived in New York. Rabbi was the first one that moved from Elizabeth as a Rabbi. What did we do? How did he inspire us? Shabbos, his home was open to all of us who wanted to come. He would sleep, and he'd tell us, the refrigerator is open, take whatever food you want. And then he would come out and say to us, what are you going to do with you in your life? What are you going to be? And depending on who we were. In the class, he would scream and yell, excuse me, I say this, he'd say to us, if you don't keep Shabbos, you're going to burn in hell but crisp. And there were boys that came Shamar Shas because of that. There were boys who 20 years later, because they felt that Avi had for us, they felt that connection he had for us, they felt the responsibility that he wanted us to feel. They were part of Kleisville. They wouldn't fight coming, and that's what made the Shabbos, but they would come and Shamar Shabbos even 20 years later. And there were those of us he would say to us, the world's going to it's going to melt like an oven. In his own way, he would describe for 10 minutes how everyone's skin's going to melt, everyone's hair's going to fall out. And then he would tell us, if you don't know Shas and Christ, you're going to burn, you're going to melt. And that's how he inspired us to learn. And why were we inspired? Because we knew he loved us as a father loves a child. We felt his armor for us. He came to us like a father, like a mother to a child. He inspired us with Amos Yisrael. He taught us what does it mean to have Amos Yisrael. It was mentioned before about the Yisurim. It's an actually Gershon touch. This man that coming to us from Daniel. Why the Lashon Gever? Not the Lashon Ish. Some Shashman says to teach us that the Rebbe only brings the Yisurim to someone he knows has afforded to the strength like a Gever to deal with it. And he took these Yisurim and learned from it. Well, what did he learn from it? He learned from it that there's a Rebbe in the world. I'm only here to do his shlichus. I'm a shlichus v'achmana. It's not about me. It's not about my cover. He would do things in those days that you would laugh today. What he did with us. There was a time he was driving on the street with us because we would have what's called a mishmah every Thursday night. We go to someone's house, and some of the boys in the class, when he told their parents you have to buy something with the OU, they would say, Rabbi, what does the OU mean? This is the world we lived in those days in Elizabeth. But he would come to us and would laugh with us. And one time we said, I'm going to show you how people who don't know how to drive. And we missed hitting another car by 1 inch literally. They said to us, make sure you don't tell your parents. But we loved him so much we wouldn't tell our parents. This is the Rebbe we had. What did he teach us? He taught us chutzpah for Yiddishkeit. That's one of the things he taught us, chutzpah for Yiddishkeit. The Rabbi was mentioned before when he speaks about the chiyuv to dam b'tzibur. He brings out the pasuk from Yad Yisrael or Kim B'chaska, and he says, from there we learn that tefillah needs a kyle. Where do we see tefillah needs a kyle? What does it mean tefillah needs a kyle? Rashi explains the Gemara there that when the Cheder was made in Nineveh, the Melech in Nineveh, they all got together and they took the children and they held them in their hands. And they held the animals and said, Garnish them, we don't take care of us, we're not going to take care of our children. So the Rabban says, chutzpah tzarech avisha, but chutzpah wins over the one who's on the back. Who's the back. What does it mean? What's Rabban teaching us? The reason why we speak with the Kairos, we talk to Rabbi Nisham. Rebbe taught us. Our Rebbe taught us that we're talking to Rabbi Nisham. He's standing in front of us. He loves us. He cares about us. That's what tefillah is. Amunah means not that I believe in Hashem or I trust in Hashem. So Hashem says, we rob the consciousness of the Jewish people. We translate that. Amunah means I'm living with Hashem. He cares about me. He loves me. He's my father. He's my mother. I talk to him like a father and a mother, like a child speaks to the parent. I can talk to him about anything. And this is the way he spoke to us. He taught us. That's the way he speaks to the Rabbi Shalom. And how do we speak to the Rabbi Shalom? We can say to the Rabbi Shalom, you have responsibility to us, just like we have responsibility to our children. Now we're makir. Actually, we're makir. This is what it means to have a Rabbi Shalom. You care about us like a parent cares about us. Now we understand. So therefore, the reason we go in the middle of the night to take care of a child is not because we are Kaufmanists. It's because we have a responsibility to the child. We have more of us than us. Rabbi Shalom. We feel how you care about us. We know you care about us because you put us in the school. You care about us. That's the way he taught us. And my Rabbi has told many times, the only reason it's a cardinal in Boston today is because we taught what's good for Yiddishkeit. When we moved there, people said to us, you're out of your mind. People called my mother and said, what's the matter with your son? He's out of his mind. We moved to Boston. And I said to my mother, I'm out of my mind. I had a Rabbi, my Rabbi, Shmuel Kaufman Zatzal, who taught us what's good for Yiddishkeit. You don't think about yourself. You only think about Klal Yisrael. You can do funny things for your class. You can do all kinds of things because it's all about Klal Yisrael. It's all about how much your Rebbe loves Klal Yisrael. You don't have to worry doing something that doesn't make any sense because if Rebbe wants it to happen, it's going to happen. This is what he taught us always. He used to walk from his house to the shul in Elizabeth. Again, Elizabeth, what was it like? We were scared. What about me? So Rebbe would take his hands around the shoulders and he'd walk down the Morami, the main street with the stores, and scream out his lunch, Laya Sandy, Laya Sandy. This is what he did. He taught us that don't worry. The Rebbe Hashem loves you. You're part of Klal Yisrael. Remember, you're part of Klal Yisrael. I was speaking small to one of my classmates. He's a Shabbos, I think. He said to me, he's one of the biggest Mallet Tzedakah in New Jersey. He said to me, what did Rabbi teach us? He taught us so much how to love Torah, how to love Klal Yisrael, how to have for Klal Yisrael. Why? How was he able to do this? Because he never thought about himself. The Yisurim he went through and everything he went through, he said he was Makabli Sumba Alva. He said, Rabbi Hashem loves me, I'm here with Rabbi Hashem, he loves me with Shara. I'm connected by Hashem. He gave that to us. He gave us that matana. He gave us that matana of how much we don't think about ourselves. We don't have to compete with anyone else. We don't ask questions, what is this one, what is that one, what does that one do? Rabbi Hashem loves everyone rests like a child. And for 50 years, it's over 50 years, I was a Talmud of my Rabbi. He spoke to us on the phone, like we were still in 7th May, but he asked us to tell him Dibbat Torah because he wanted to hear what we were learning. My older brother, maybe, who was known, who was a renowned Talmud Chacham, who was a Talmud Levaya from Zatzal. I could say that if not for Rabbi, Shmuel Kaufman, Zatzal, my brother would have been watching television all day. But the Kaufman gave us such a simple sachayim. He gave us such a sheet to learn. In 7th grade, would say to us that you learned Ritva tonight. Last night, you have to learn Ritva. Little kids. You don't know how to learn Rashi. You learned Ritva tonight. You learned this tonight. He prodded us. He wanted us to think big. He wanted us to aspire for greatness. He wanted us to be someone. Because that's what he was. He was so much shielded to everyone. He wanted everyone to bring out their greatness. I only have one request to ask Rebbe. Rebbe, if you